personal favourites. A day at the footy, and you can see I'm at the beautiful Sorrento Sharks Football Reserve, home of football on the peninsula.
And what a day it was, mate. It was only 2015 too, so just a couple of years ago. And look, as we record and go to air for tonight's session, only one more sleep, mate, and till the big dance.
Super excited, Hoochie. Best weekend of the year. Probably won't sleep tonight, so no more sleeps for me. But can't wait to get on the bus, listen to a bit of Don's on Fire, and get across on the boat tomorrow morning.
No better song at 6 a.m. in the morning on a Friday, mate. That is for sure. So let's have a chat about 2015 at the Sorrento Sharks there. Just an all-country game of footy, do you think? Just like going to the City Oval in Horsham or the Reed Oval? Any famous heads around or not?
Yeah, certainly one of the great great events when you can go to football at Sorrento. Fair to say it's a very affluent part of the world. A few celebrity spottings. And for those that are first time joining us online, welcome, of course, of which you've joined hundreds of thousands of the family. But tradition is we go to the local football on Saturday afternoon. And in 2015, found our way down to Sorrento. The likes of Don Scott, Ian Wilson, Lindsay Fox, a couple of other guests that we'll mention shortly as well, too, cameos, and Peter Ockertell was there as well. So one of the great days that the footy was had, Hoochie.
That it was. And look, can you remember what it cost to get into the footy that day, or should we check in with Ocker?
Well, I remember what it cost, but I'm not sure Peter did. And I think for those that were there, they saw a silhouette of a gentleman scaling a fence over in the top corner. And we do mention that man quite often in these episodes, but it was Peter Ockertell, of which he could have got in on a concession rate being a pensioner, but he decided to save himself the $2.50 and scale a fence, pull a hamstring, and find his way in. But certainly had a great day at the footy. One of the highlights.
Certainly was a great way for him to debut at the day of the footy. So
Yeah,
as you said, good old Donny Scott was there. Ian Wilson, Richmond past president, and of course father of Caro, and some sort of QC lawyer that Trevor was all over, of course, cooking the barbie. So a few heads around, and there's a couple of people that have got a few dollars that have got a bit of a shack down here, and they run a bit of a trucking business. Can you tell me about those people as they approached the footy upon quarter time?
Yeah. There was a bit of a murmur through the crowd that Lindsay Fox and his wife would be joining, and of which it was going to be their first voyage down to Sorrento Reserve. And we saw this purple haze, for lack of a better term, come through the gates halfway through the second quarter, and the murmurings got louder and louder. And we saw sort of a purple jumpsuit, like a bloke had just and his wife had just jumped out of a aeroplane and parachuted in. But it was the great man, Lindsay Fox. As we were talking to the president of the club, he quickly sort of booted us out of the way and went over and introduced himself and made sure that sponsorship deals were locked in for the next few years. But bright purple jumpsuit is certainly something I wouldn't wear to the footy. And mind you, I shouldn't throw too many yonnies there because some of our outfits over the years have been questionable. But certainly an interesting get up. But
yes.
Hoochie, obviously the Foxes were one. And you've spoken about a few others as well too, but I just want to delve a little bit further into sort of your world. Obviously, Don Scott was there, Hawthorn, great, saved the club from merger in the late 90s. But I think more importantly, there was someone that you recognised in the crowd, got a photo with as well too. Do you want to tell us a little bit about meeting your childhood hero as well?
Well, actually, I might talk about meeting his son first, cricketer that you probably come up against, being Nick Jewell, who was coaching Portsea that day.
Yep.
What a memorable three-quarter time address he gave. Of course, they were getting a bit of a shellacking from your team, our team, the Sharks. And he said to young Timmy there, keep it going, mate. You'll have a good last quarter. And then young Timmy said, look, my name's Johnny, not Timmy. But anyway, and you wouldn't believe it, but he just said to the boys at the three-quarter time address, look, we're getting a shellacking, but let's just win the last quarter. So I've never heard that before.
Yeah. Yep.
And the reason why they were getting a shellacking was your great mate, Sticks. and everyone had to get around him and all day. And after the rooms, I remember quite vividly you saying, let's get around him. Can I throw one back to you and tell us about Sticks, your idol?
Yeah, perfect. Beautifully deflected as well, Hooch, it must be said there. But yeah, the number 18 with the flowing mullet reminded us of years gone past, but it was one of his farewell games. And a guard of honour was formed for the grade 18 Sticks as he came off the ground. I believe he's still vice president of the club as well too, which is great that he's giving back to a club that has given him so much over the years. But yeah, geez, talk about cult figure status. Yeah, Wayne Wiedemann, Sard for those that are Carlton supporters of the day. Yeah, absolutely love their cult figures. And yeah, our man Sticks kicked a few, got the crowd on their feet up and about. And geez, boy, oh boy, did we get around him in the rooms when we gave him a bit of a beer shower, singing the song with about 500 of our half-wit mates in the rooms that we just met that day. But yeah, we gave him a send-off he'll never forget.
It was bloody awesome,
which,
Freddie. And
ironically, I can't remember much of, but it was a super day.
Rightly so. And look, let's talk about the beers in the rooms. Just a few rounds of stubbies. I think it was $20 for 4 beers. Pretty good in a place like Sorrento. And is there anything you noticed in the rooms about some of the players? Girlfriends, wives, some of the crowd. Tell me about the crowd.
Yeah, got to be a little bit careful with the Triple Crown Rewind family listening. But Mum always said if you pull a face and the wind changes, it's going to stay the same. And I think a few of the guests in the rooms after the game had suffered that ill-fated warning that Mum gave me years ago, and their faces had changed significantly from what perhaps God gave them. So looked like it was very wind blown. But yeah, to their credit, it wasn't many wrinkles. So congratulations to them. And given the amount of grey hairs and wrinkles I've got at the moment, I might have to get the phone number of that person that might have done a little bit of work for them.
I dare say that plastic surgeon is on the books of one of the sponsors of the club, mate. No doubt about that. So we had a great day. We're slightly tipped after several beers, as we do. Just about to get our sorry asses back to the ranch. And as we were exiting the building, or the front gate, or the side gate, there he was. Over the fence. There he was, the great man TJ. And wasn't it good to connect with the 1980 premiership coach of the Tigers?
Yeah, and I think the highlight of his day was getting a photo with yourself as well too, Grant, fair to say. Yeah, he really looked riveted at about 6:15 with a dozen blokes pestering him at the front gate there. So you ticked one off the bucket list. Tell me a little bit about that experience, how you found the great man after all these years, and any banter that you sort of threw his way.
Oh, look, I just remember meeting him in the rooms at Arden Street when we played the Kangas way back in 1980, funnily enough. And I don't know whether he can remember meeting me then, but I'm sure he remember meeting me back in 2015. He was a great coach. And obviously after the 1980, the wheels somewhat fell off for the Tigers. But like his son's coaching career, I don't think the Portsea boys got over the line in the last quarter and just continued to get shellacked. But no, it was certainly great to catch up with TJ. 2015, what a year it was. And back to the golf. Who do you think won in 2015, Bretty?
Well, first instinct is always Ross Corbett, because probability says that would be the correct answer. So I'm not sure if any of the wiser that it was Corby or not. Grant?
Well, yes, very good call. As you'll be more right than wrong with that answer, that's for sure. But unfortunately, this time you're wrong. And the player formerly known as the Big Kid, and then latter years has been known as the Little Kid, was Mick. So good on Mick having a win in 2015. It was a great year for him.
Now, I don't want to preempt anything, but you could nearly have an episode in itself on Mick's bus trip home, because a louder trip I've never been on, a more pointed feedback session I've never seen, especially towards the ex-skipper, the 27th best captain at Warrnambool Golf Club in its time. But yeah, that was certainly one to remember.
Certainly was a lot of
win as well.
Certainly was a lot of traction between the bus driver and the little kid up the back seat. And at one stage, the little kid wasn't happy that we'd arrived back in Warrnambool, and he wanted to continue on to Portland and then do a UE. So good luck to the little kids. So yes, it was a great day at the Footy 2015, Brady. Very much look forward to seeing you soon and all the other heroes as we head across the big boat to the peninsula this weekend.
100%, and we're going to recreate some more, or we're going to create some more memories this year. We're off to the footy again. I believe we're going to see traditional rivals Rye versus Crib Point. So hopefully we'll have a great day. Hopefully we'll see some more players picking up rubbish along the side of the fence for their footy trip fund. But really looking forward to it, Hooch.
Good on you, Brady. See you soon.
Awesome, mate. Thanks, mate. Chat soon.
See you, brother.